How's it going? So how many of you guys play Pokemon Go? All right, like about half. So I'm going to talk about PokeRadar today. It's an application we built. First off, about myself, my name is Braden Matumbakal. I am 23 years old. I'm a college dropout. I dropped out at 19. I'm also a professional amateur drifter, and I love tech, and I love pursuing my passions. So getting into it, this app came from the question, where are the Pokemon? Like, my friend Nick and I started playing Pokemon Go, and we were like, okay, there's all these Pokemon nearby, but there's only a certain variety. We need to figure out like where other Pokemon are, better variety, and the idea was use crowdsourcing, so people could submit where they're finding stuff. And off of that map, like we could figure out like, okay, this is probably over here in Seattle. Some people are saying they caught this over here. Let's try that, go there, instead of wasting time just driving around. And then we launched it on July 14th, and this happened. And that was my face, pretty much there. First day, it did 16,000 downloads. It was a free app. The following day, it did 331,000, and the following day, 720,000, going upwards to almost 1 million per day, which was insane. And with users at that scale, that fast, when you push out something, I built this in 24 hours, by the way. So you can imagine the architecture behind this and the infrastructure. It's probably not the best. And when you start to scale up that fast, and this happens, bad stuff starts happening. You start burning, just stuff falls apart. We eventually got to a place where we were serving about 5,000 requests per second, and just everything fell apart. Our infrastructure just wasn't able to hold it up, and I'll explain like what our initial infrastructure was. We were throwing like 500s. Dev guys know what those are. Like every 30, like 30% of the requests we were getting were 500s, meaning just like server cannot handle it, just drops the request. It was bad, and this was like at the peak of our traffic too, so that was not good. Okay, I updated the deck. I don't think it got in here, but the infrastructure that we were running on is PHP. I built the backend API in PHP. MySQL, we're running through Amazon Web Services. And what was happening with this type of application, when you're pulling data, you're looking up a latitude-longitude bounding box. And the initial implementation, the schema in MySQL, was just storing latitude-longitude values as decimals. Like we probably should use spatial, but it was rush. So when you're doing this and you're looking up data within a bounding box, within a region, you're trying to get Pokemon back from that. One, ranges and between queries in MySQL are kind of we also had an order by in here, and it was forcing file sort because we had so much just data coming back. And there was just a bunch of things. We optimized as much as we could. One of our team members is actually one of the original MySQL contributors, so like we did as much as we could. It wasn't holding up. We were running like 5 R8 XLs on AWS, which is insane. You should not have to do that. Those are like the biggest database instances you could possibly run. And from that point, so getting into the fire extinguisher, we switched over to Node.js with DynamoDB, which is what we should have built it in the beginning. We changed the lookups, and this is what saved us. We stopped using latitude-longitude bounding boxes, and we used something called geohashes. Do any of you know what geohashing is? Okay, so it's basically a way to create, it's bounding boxes over a map. It's base 32. For every single character, you create 32 boxes over the map for each sequential character. So at 2 characters, it's 32 more boxes. Okay. Oh, wow, I'm going fast. All right. It's 32 more boxes within each box, and then you can go more precise, deeper, lower zoom with more characters. So that worked really well. The reason it worked really well with DynamoDB, you have to have a partition key, and you can use geohashes as the partition key for lookups, and that pretty much saved us. Latency became amazing, just much better. Fire extinguisher, Squirtle is happy. So where are we now? Like, this has been out for about 3 weeks now, and we're the #1 app in pretty much every country in Asia right now on the App Store. We're top 10, I think, in pretty much every country in the world, and we're 99 cents now, so that's pretty cool. I'm just saying. Yeah. So that's been pretty great. It's been pretty stable. Just kind of riding the wave now. Where are we going? Some sleep will be nice. A lot of the team members, we don't sleep. Just last night was probably the last time I slept 8 hours in like the last 2 weeks, which was amazing. We're pushing more for building out features. We have so much data now that we can really start to build out this prediction algorithm that we started using. And we can use machine learning and potentially even reverse engineer the spawn algorithm in Pokemon Go, which would be really cool. They probably wouldn't like that, and they probably change up the spawning algorithm, but hey, it'll be fun. It's a good engineering problem. We're pushing forward actually for, there's some acquisition offers on the table, and there's basically it's write out the revenue or get an acquisition, could go either way. So yeah, that went by really fast, so I guess it's more time for questions, but if you want to reach me, my name is Braden Batumbakal, my Twitter handle is _Braden, and my email address is right there. So yeah, thank you. Questions?
So I think the initial one is, being that this is 3 weeks old,
Mm-hmm.
well, as a kind of a founder for the business, what is on your mind in terms of where you want to take it? Do you want to turn this into a business?
Yeah. So with Pokemon Go, like I don't think anyone really knows if it's going to stay around or if it's going to fall off. It could just be a flash in the pan. With this type of application, I don't know what the life cycle will be. It could be a fairly long one, depending if they don't fix their tracker in the game for a while or not. Or, I don't know, we'll see. But we're leaning more towards an acquisition, but like it's pretty much either way right now. We could write it out, take the revenue, and kind of whatever happens, happens. So, yeah. Questions? Yes? We don't have those yet, but we were thinking of doing some things along the lines of, because our data is so accurate now with the prediction algorithm, we could start like giving the feature of being able to notify someone if they're looking for a certain Pokemon, and our data, like the data being pulled down in the background, finds that Pokemon nearby them, letting them know it's nearby. That could be an in-app purchase, but right now we don't have any. So, questions? Yes.
Have you seen on YouTube yet?
I have not. Funny story though, I wanted to see how many people use this, and we disable all submissions for legendary Pokemon, but that doesn't mean I can't drop a Mewtwo somewhere in the back end. So I was at a coffee shop, and I went to the database. I just wanted to see how many people locally were using it. I put a Mewtwo, and like within 5 minutes, I just see cars driving by, like people looking out their window, like where is this Mewtwo? And I felt really bad after that, so I got rid of it, but that was fun. Yeah. Any? Yes?
Did you get any emails about that?
The Mewtwo? I did not know. Or if we did, they got just filtered out in all the other emails we have that we just have no manpower to respond to. So, yeah, it's... Question? All right, cool. Yeah, thank you guys.
Just a click right up. That's awesome.